Judging others is a very subtle habit. It arises without being invited. It appears the moment we see an action that displeases us or hear a story that doesn't sit well. We think we're just making casual remarks, but in truth, every prejudice is an arrow we shoot. That arrow may not hit anyone else, but it will surely circle back and lodge in our own mind. As the habit of judging grows, our hearts gradually close, our wisdom dims, and the world around us becomes a place filled with people who are never good enough. The Buddha taught that a wise person sees things as they are without adding layers of fixed judgment. Seeing someone make a mistake does not mean we must label them as bad. Understanding is different from judging. Understanding means seeing that the other person is also on a journey, stumbling, carrying their own karma. Judging, on the other hand, is when we use our own ruler to measure another person's entire life. And when the mind is busy judging, we forget to cultivate ourselves. I once knew a woman in Hue who lived sincerely and was always eager to help others. Yet, she had a habit of gossiping. Whether neighbors, colleagues, or relatives, she always had opinions. This one was greedy, that one fake, another selfish. At first, it seemed like harmless personal views, but over time she felt life was increasingly unfair and grew easily exhausted, always believing someone else was in the wrong. One day at a temple, she heard a teacher say that every judgment is an arrow we shoot that ultimately returns to pierce our own heart. She fell silent. From then on, whenever the urge to criticize arose, she practiced reciting the Buddha's name. A few months later, she shared that she felt lighter and experienced less tension with others. There was no miracle. Only that harmful karma was no longer being planted, so conditions gradually shifted. Judging is also dangerous because it creates negative speech karma. A small remark, a careless comment, can become a seed that bears unwholesome fruit. For example, someone who habitually criticizes their neighbors for constantly arguing may later find their own family falling into discord. Karma is not punishment. It is a mirror reflecting back to us. Whatever we sow with our words and thoughts will sooner or later return. Therefore, stopping judgment is not only for others' peace, but for the openness of our own hearts. Instead of thinking someone is blameworthy, practice seeing them as someone deserving compassion. Instead of focusing only on faults, ask how much suffering they must have endured to behave that way. This compassionate view soothes the heart instantly, like passing through a garden of flowers, simply admiring and smiling without plucking, without labeling. When we let go of the habit of judging, the mind becomes clear, wisdom brightens, and the heart grows warm again. We begin to see goodness in everyone, hope in every life. Most importantly, we free ourselves from narrowness and live in a spacious world where the human heart can be as vast as the sky. Return to the breath before reacting. In moments when emotions surge, a single careless word or hasty action can create wounds that last a long time. Reactions are often faster than thought, and it is precisely there that we lose the opportunity to practice. The Buddha likened the mind to a monkey, constantly leaping from one thought to another. To tame it, we first need a rope, and the breath is that miraculous rope. Whenever anger or sorrow arises, simply stop and take a deep breath. You have already stepped out of the realm of ignorant reaction. The breath brings us back to the body, to the present moment. In the flow of inhalation and exhalation, We notice the body growing hot, the hands clenching, the lips tightening. Just seeing this is enough to reduce half the power of anger. The breath is like a lamp shining into darkness. Once light appears, darkness retreats. I recall attending an office meeting where an accountant was harshly criticized by a colleague for a numerical error. Her face flushed, tears welled up, and she was about to shout back in self-defense. Then she remembered the teacher's advice from a meditation retreat. When emotions are strong, take 3 breaths before speaking. She gently placed her hands on the table, inhaled deeply, exhaled slowly. After 3 breaths, the anger subsided. Calmly, she said, "Thank you for pointing it out. I'll check it again." There was no argument. The meeting continued smoothly. Later, the colleague came to apologize for speaking too harshly. Just 3 breaths dissolved a conflict and saved a relationship. In families, it's the same. A father can lose an entire pleasant evening by angrily scolding his child the moment he sees a messy room. But if he pauses at the doorway and takes a deep breath before entering, he will see that the child is simply being a child. His words will soften, and the warmth of the dinner will remain intact. The breath is not a luxury. It is present in every moment, simply waiting for us to return. We don't need special quiet spaces or complicated techniques. Even in a crowded market, on a bus, or in the middle of an argument, a single mindful breath can save us. Like a lost traveler finding a light, when we breathe consciously, we stop chasing a regretful past or anxiously running toward the future. The mind settles in the present, and the present is the only place where transformation can occur. Returning to the breath 10 times a day means 10 escapes from the cycle of ignorant reaction. The practice is simple, but requires perseverance. Each morning, before touching your phone, sit quietly on your bed and take 10 grateful breaths. Whenever anger arises, step back and let the breath go before the words. Each night before sleeping, place a hand on your belly and listen to the breath rising and falling like a lullaby to yourself. Practice like this. You are gradually reclaiming mastery over your life. The power not to be dragged around by emotions. The power to choose peace over conflict. Knowing when to remain still is the wisdom of the strong. Many believe that speaking a lot, arguing well, and winning debates show strength. But the more we experience, the more we see that sometimes silence is true power. Words once spoken are like arrows. Once released, they cannot be retrieved. A harsh sentence can shatter a relationship built over years, while timely silence can save an entire family. The Buddha taught that if words do not bring peace, it is better to remain silent. This is not an invitation to avoidance, but a reminder that not everything we think needs to be said. Sometimes we are right, but if that rightness is expressed with anger, it becomes wrong. Sometimes we want to offer advice, but if the mind is not settled, words turn into knives. Stay silent until the mind is clear, then speak with compassion. That is wisdom. I once encountered a story in Dalat. In a 3-generation family, dinner became tense when the father scolded his son for declining grades. The boy argued back. The mother quietly added vegetables to her husband's bowl and placed a hand on her son's shoulder without saying a word. That silence calmed the atmosphere. After dinner, she spoke privately with her son, listened, encouraged him. The next morning, she went with him to meet the teacher to find a solution. Had she raised her voice that night, the family would surely have endured a long argument. Thanks to one moment of stillness, the door to understanding opened. The same applies at work. A factory manager in Haeannam once shared that when workers ruined an entire batch of products, he was furious and wanted to shout immediately. Remembering his teacher's advice, he took a few breaths and said, "We'll find a way to fix this together." That calmness inspired the whole team to voluntarily work overtime and resolve the issue within 2 days. Had he vented his anger, he would likely have received resentment and discouragement instead. Stillness is not weakness. It preserves space for ourselves and for others to return to clarity. It's like seeing a fire flare up and choosing not to pour oil on it, letting it cool on its own. In this way, we preserve our merit, our hearts, the warmth of family bonds, and the trust of colleagues. True strength is not always winning, but knowing when to step back to protect peace. Stepping back does not make us smaller. It opens a wider sky, and it is then we realize that not competing, not arguing, not needing to prove anything is the deepest victory. Letting go of the past to walk more lightly. Old pain is like stones we pack into an invisible suitcase. Each day we still walk, work, smile, but inside we feel weighed down. The more painful memories we carry, the heavier the suitcase, the more exhausted our steps. Strangely, we are the ones who lock it shut, unwilling to open it and put some down. Thus, suffering comes not only from events, but from our refusal to let go. In the Sutra of 42 chapters, the Buddha taught that clinging to the past is like carrying heavy stones while complaining of fatigue, yet refusing to drop them. The image is vivid. We bind ourselves to a burden that has already passed, while the present still holds so much life to be lived. I remember a mother in the Mekong Delta who lost her son in an accident. Every day she sat before the altar, crying until her tears ran dry. She lost her appetite and couldn't sleep. An elderly monk visited and gently said that if her son could see her, he would surely wish for her to continue living the rest of her life. She seemed to awaken. From then on, she practiced chanting and dedicating merit, and learned to care for herself. Gradually, the pain remained, but no longer bound her. She continued living, and each smile she offered became a comfort to her departed son. In daily life, the past is not only great losses. It can be an old insult, a failure at work, a relationship that ended. We replay it over and over, like scratching the same wound. How can the wound heal? Letting go does not mean forgetting or denying. It means choosing not to keep hurting ourselves with what is past. A worker once told me that after losing his job due to a mistake, he lived in shame for months, afraid to face anyone. One day, sitting by a river, he asked himself whether clinging to the past would change anything. From that day, he decided to learn motorcycle repair. A few years later, he opened his own shop. Life gradually improved. He said, "The day I dared to put down my old shame was the day I truly started walking again." Letting go of the suitcase of the past is not indifference, it is compassion for oneself. Only when the load is lighter do we have the strength to fully embrace the joys of the present. A meal where loved ones are still present, a morning when we can still breathe, a friend's hand still held beside us. These are blessings. Each person carries their own suitcase. You cannot unload it all at once. But each day, practice taking out one small stone, a word of forgiveness for someone who once hurt you, a smile for yourself after a mistake, a thought of letting go instead of blaming. As the suitcase grows lighter, life's steps become more relaxed, and you will see that peace is not far away. It begins the moment we are willing to set things down, to step out of the race of comparison and return to a sense of enough in today's life. Comparison seems to creep in everywhere. We look at social media and see friends showing off beautiful homes and luxury cars. We look at colleagues, one gets promoted, another earns more, and unease arises. Why am I always behind? Why don't I have what they have? Comparison feels like a passing thought, yet it is like a grain of salt dropped into a glass of water, clouding the clear happiness we already had. The Buddha taught, knowing contentment is wealth. Knowing when to stop is peace. One who does not know contentment, no matter how much they have, will still feel lacking. One who knows contentment can smile fully even over a simple meal of vegetables. Comparison makes us forget what we already have. Contentment helps us recognize joy in simple things. I remember a student in Saigon from a poor family, studying while working part-time. Each time she attended class and saw friends dressed nicely, riding new bikes, she felt sad and blamed her fate. Once, returning to her hometown, she visited her elderly grandmother. The meal was only boiled vegetables and a bowl of fish sauce. Yet, her grandmother ate with a smile and said, "Having you home makes everything taste the best." That sentence awakened her. She realized that joy is not in cars or clothes, but in the love present right before her. From then on, she compared herself less, focused on her studies, and gradually found happiness in simple things. In the workplace, it is the same. A young employee often compared himself with praised colleagues. He threw himself into work just to prove he was no worse than anyone else. But the harder he tried, the more exhausted and irritable he became. Until one day, his manager said, "Don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday." From then on, he set small goals. Today, work more focused than yesterday. Today, speak more calmly than yesterday. And without comparing, he still progressed and earned trust. Comparison is like running on an endless track. The more you run, the more tired you become, never seeing the finish line. Contentment is different. We step off the track, sit by the roadside, take a sip of water, look at the blue sky, and smile because we are still alive. That is true freedom. The contented person is not content because they have little or much, but because the mind is no longer swept away. Contentment helps us cherish the present, a roof that still shelters us, a body that is still healthy, a loved one who is still by our side. And it is this contentment that brings lasting wealth, wealth of the soul, which no one can take away. Cultivate merit through small, consistent deeds in daily life. Many people think doing good must mean grand acts, building temples, bridges, or donating large sums. In truth, blessings are nourished by very small seeds sown steadily each day. A smile, a kind word, giving up a seat on a bus, or sharing a meal with someone in need. All of these are wholesome causes. The Buddha taught that though a drop of water is small, over time it fills the jar. Small good deeds, done regularly, accumulate great merit, and the heart becomes gentle. One who does not wait for big opportunities to do good, but uses ordinary moments to plant wholesome seeds, is truly practicing. I remember a motorbike taxi driver in Bien Hoa. Every morning before taking passengers, he spent a few minutes sweeping the sidewalk where he stood. He took no payment, thinking it was simply the right thing to do. Passers-by grew accustomed to the sight. Many offered thanks. Some even brought him a cup of iced tea. A small act, but it created a circle of goodness. He said that since doing this, each day began more lightly, and customers seemed friendlier. Or take a young nurse at a provincial hospital. On night shifts, instead of snapping at difficult patients, she chose gentle words and added a few written instructions for home care. A small gesture, yet it touched patients so deeply that later some returned to volunteer in cleaning the wards. From one wholesome seed, many more begin to sprout. What matters is consistency, like a farmer who does not sow just once, but waters every day. Planting merit is the same. Today, a thank you. Tomorrow, yielding the way. The next day, sharing a meal. Gradually, blessings accumulate like a cool stream flowing through our lives, nourishing our families and descendants. No one becomes secure forever by hoarding wealth, but anyone can build lasting blessings by planting seeds through small acts. And the miracle is this: when we sow goodness for others, the first to receive peace is ourselves. Lighter hearts, brighter faces, restful sleep. The greatest victory is victory over oneself. People are often drawn into contests of winning and losing, winning arguments, promotions, or proving themselves better than others. But the more we chase such victories, the more we realize how short-lived the joy is, while the emptiness in the heart remains long. The Buddha taught that conquering 10,000 armies is not equal to conquering oneself. Victory over oneself is the most lasting and profound victory. To win over oneself means stopping before anger erupts, enduring when insulted, or abandoning a deeply rooted bad habit. This is far harder than defeating an external opponent, because outer enemies are visible while inner enemies are unseen. Greed, anger, ignorance, the ego that always wants to be superior. I remember a fisherman named Thai in a coastal village in central Vietnam. During a village meeting, he was falsely accused of taking more than his share of the communal fishing net. Everyone expected him to explode in anger, but he remained silent and asked to explain after clear evidence was found. A few days later, the truth came out. He had done nothing wrong. The accuser came, ashamed, to apologize. Thai smiled gently. "If I had raised my voice that day," he said, "the village bond might have been lost." Holding back one moment of anger is preserving an entire shore of peace. That self-mastery earned respect and kept harmony for the whole community. In daily life, we can win over ourselves in very small ways. A mother patiently listening to her child instead of interrupting to judge. An employee accepting a boss's feedback instead of reacting harshly. A young person choosing to meditate for 10 minutes each night instead of scrolling on the phone until late. These victories are quiet, without applause, but they cultivate true strength, the strength of self-mastery. When we win over ourselves, we no longer need to prove anything. We are no longer swept away by praise or blame, no longer straining to compare. The heart grows light, steps become open and free. The greatest victory is not out there. It is right here, in the moment we transcend the narrow ego to live more spaciously and compassionately. And so, each day we can be a victor, not by surpassing others, but by knowing how to return and embrace ourselves with a clear and gentle heart. The path of practice and peaceful living is not distant. It begins in each small moment of daily life. First, we learn to stop judging so the heart can widen. Each judgment is like a brick building a wall between us and others. When we criticize and label less, the heart grows lighter, compassion expands. When we look at others with understanding and love, we no longer see anyone as entirely bad. Only people who are suffering and trying to move through suffering. Next, we cultivate the habit of returning to the breath before reacting. The breath is a bridge that carries us out of the whirlpool of anger. Just 3 deep breaths can help us look back at ourselves and master our words. By knowing how to pause, we protect our own peace and avoid hurting others. Then we realize that timely stillness is the wisdom of the strong. Often, arguing only widens wounds. A moment of calm, waiting for the mind to settle before choosing words, is how we truly protect family ties, friendships, and collegial relationships. The strong person is not one who always wins, but one who knows how to step back to preserve a vast inner sky. On this journey, we also need to set down the suitcase of the past to walk more lightly. Everyone has painful memories, but clinging to them only weighs the heart down. Letting go does not mean forgetting everything. It means putting down old stones so our hands are free to hold what is beautiful in the present. When the suitcase is lighter, our steps are truly at ease. Leaving the past, we also learn to leave the race of comparison and return to contentment. Comparison only breeds dissatisfaction and makes us forget what we already have. Contentment lets us see happiness in a simple vegetable meal, in a loved one's smile, in ordinary presence. The greatest measure is not being better than others, but whether today we are more awake than yesterday. Beyond that, we practice planting blessings through small, consistent acts. A thank you, a gesture of sharing, a gentle gaze. All are wholesome seeds. Tiny drops fill the jar over time. Small good deeds done regularly become great blessings that nourish our lives and those around us. Finally, we close with mindfulness. The greatest victory is victory over oneself, over anger, over bad habits, over the narrow ego. That is the enduring victory. Without surpassing anyone, simply mastering ourselves is enough for happiness. Looking back, this teaching forms a single path. Letting go of judgment, returning to the breath, knowing when to be still, daring to set down the past, stopping comparison, planting wholesome seeds, and ultimately winning over oneself. This path is not distant theory, but the very steps we take each day. When we walk this way, life is no longer a chain of exhaustion, but a journey of peace. The precious thing is that anyone can begin right now. No need to wait for tomorrow or for perfect conditions. Right now, you can take one deep breath, release one judgmental thought, and offer one grateful smile. Just one small act, but it is already planting a seed of peace. For happiness is not at the end of the road. It is in each step we take. When we know how to pause, to let go and to smile, we can find joy right in the midst of life. And that is the greatest gift the Buddha's teachings offer us, returning to live as our true selves, clear, gentle, and free. If this meditation brought you comfort, please tap, like, and subscribe to the channel. Your support allows these peaceful teachings and healing sleep stories to continue flowing to those who need them. May you sleep deeply. May you wake renewed. May peace be with you in every breath. Good night, dear soul. Rest well. Rest deeply. Rest in light.